Hey, hello. Welcome everyone to Table Moments Live. I know I wasn't here last week. Been dealing nothing. I don't know how to describe it, but just going through some spiritual stuff lately, doing the work, and it's been exhausting. It's been incredibly exhausting. Not for a bad reason. I wouldn't say anything like that. It's just when you're really deep into the word, like there's a lot going on. So wasn't able to come on Sunday, but I did go on TikTok earlier this week and had a pretty cool discussion. But before we continue that, let's talk about the wallet update. I guess I'm actually starting this men's brand, weirdly enough. I just wanted a way to monetize this podcast in a wholesome way that didn't sell out to advertisers. And so the only way I could come up with is if I sell my own products, which is why I started selling the wallets. It's crazy that it's actually working. Kinda. This month hasn't gone off to a good start. I am getting sales, but not as many as I used to, and the ad spend is basically negating it all. So I think I have some scripts prepared, so I'm gonna have to lean into the organic direction, actually posting it on the Instagram and the TikToks and stuff. Maybe get some sales from there, at least in the near term. But the idea being the audience doesn't necessarily have to directly support the podcast. They could, and you can buy one of these wallets too, tamo.tv. You can get that. I'll put it in the chat here if you guys are interested. Put the full URL. And I've been working on just the e-commerce and making those things happen. Looking on ways to improve it. I upped the price actually from $19.97 to $25. That might be the reason why sales have declined, which is crazy to think about. But that $5 difference makes all the difference when it comes to the long-term sustainability of this. And so now I just have to make sure that the value proposition on the website justifies $25, which is crazy to think about, but yeah, it's a minimalist wallet. I've been making upgrades, and so I've just been making experiments and trying all these different things. I've mentioned the metal corners before. Let me see if it zooms in. Yeah, the metal corners before. These are cool. I have them as an option, an add-on option after you check out. Some people get to see it and some people don't. I think I'm just gonna have to make it a standard thing. And I've been thinking about what other markets could I sell this to, and what other things could I add to this that make it pretty cool. So for instance, I was like, ooh, what if I can actually turn this thin minimalist wallet into a smart wallet? Not like all the other smart wallets on the market where they're like, oh, it blocks RFID. This already blocks RFID. Not that you need to block RFID, it's a whole technology thing. I think I'm gonna have to make a video explaining that cards are already secure. In fact, wireless transmission of the financial information is the most secure way. And the least secure way is actually using the dip, the physical contact stuff. But I'm gonna put together that video and then also plug the wallet at the same time. And I'm thinking that's how you sell stuff. It's like give valuable information and then it's like, hey, by the way, also selling this stuff. So I think it's something I gotta work on, and I'm also gonna have to improve the website. I spent last night just working on some copy, and I think I wanna go in the funny direction where I describe things in a hilarious way. I'm realizing the only way this can be sustainable over the long term is if other people tell other people. Word of mouth marketing, man. It's hard to do, but if you can pull it off, it is the greatest form. Any marketer would tell you that, but most people don't care or realize it's a lot of effort. And it requires creativity, actually. I just finished a book by Rory Sutherland, who who talks about alchemy, creating magic in the mind. And I'm realizing I'm gonna go in that direction. I think it would be crazy to actually pull this off. We get sales directly from word of mouth because people use it. They love it so much. They show it off because I include features where people can actually share not only the $2 bill that I include, which I imagine people would be showing off to other people, but also experimenting with RFID behind this. So let me see if I can show you guys. Hey man, keep it up. What's the wallet called? It's just a bifold wallet. It's I put the link in the description. Check it out. I still gotta update the website. I didn't put the the metal corners is an option, but if you decide to order one, just put it in the order notes and I'll throw in a couple of those for free. But it's just a minimalist wallet. Where's my wallet? It's back there, whatever. But I think it'd be pretty cool, like, check this out. Let me show you guys. I had this prepared for TikTok, but all right, no personal information. You gotta be careful, guys. Sometimes when you're sharing stuff online, just gotta like, all right. So I put an NFC, I think this is the one that has an NFC tag. If it doesn't, then it's not gonna work, but NFC tag right behind the logo, but still has RFID blocking. So you have that, see, let's go, boom. And then this is actually, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Now you guys, whatever. I think it's so cool. I think it's so cool. So yeah, just tap and that's all it takes. So I think that'd be pretty cool to include as a standard feature. And so if I include the RFID, include the option for the metal corners, and then also even considering like giving options to people. So this isn't the only metal corners I have. I have like gold and silver ones. I'm actually testing out right now because I don't know about the durability. I know these ones are good, but here's the other options. I've been keeping this in my wallet, in my pocket, just to test them out. I got this silver here, got the bronze similar to this, and then I also have the gold here. Or yeah, it's hard to tell, but it's gold. And then the standard here. So I think it'd be really cool to like actually make customizable wallets, like you know how Nike ID did, except that. And then it's all made in America too, which I think is pretty cool. We don't have to use sweatshops. We're not going to exploit cheap Chinese labor. And you know, I think that'd be pretty cool. And then it's not enough to just design and make these. Right now, I use the laser to actually cut the patterns of these because this is ripstop nylon. But eventually I'm gonna have to engineer the crap out of this to automate it all. And I'm an engineer by training, so that's a fun project to work on. And then the recent upgrade I've made is these edges. So one of the problems with this, once you put the metal corners on there, they easily fold. These corners don't have that much of a problem because they're pretty straight, but these ones do because it has a little extra end. So when you fold it over, you see that. I'm not a fan of that. I gotta figure something out. But when you have it full of cards and money, these corners tend to like flop. They're just floppy, and I'm not a fan of that. They're fine. It doesn't change anything. And the normal standard wallet doesn't even come with these, and they work fine, and no one's had any complaints about that. But I think it'd be cool to upgrade so I can command a higher price, a higher premium, or maybe for a certain segment of the market that would pay a lot more for a wallet by adding these little embellishments. And so the problem is like it's not rigid, right? It's not rigid. So what I've done is I figured out a way to make it rigid. I figured out a way, and it's just a piece of spring steel, thin, 0.6 millimeter diameter. I think it's used for like fishing or making lures or something, but works perfectly. And the thing is, before I sell it, I use it myself for a period of time, at least a couple of weeks before I decide it's worth selling. So I'm working on that, making upgrades and improvements. And then eventually, like with the RFID, with the structure reinforcement, maybe switching the metal out for actually nickel titanium alloy. I think it would be pretty cool. Work on the packaging, because right now I'm thinking about actually upgrading the paper that I use in the wallet packaging. Because right now it's just a standard cardstock, but I need something that has like soft touch, similar to what Apple uses in their packaging. And so if I can do that, then it gives it a more premium feel, and then maybe even upgrade the envelope one day once I go through this batch of envelopes, and then put designs and everything. And then with all that, and then also the $2 bill and everything, I think I can command a higher price. And then obviously I'd have to like reflect that on the website, and then I'd have to get the ads to really show that and the value proposition there. So there's a lot going on, and I have to learn it all essentially, but it's okay. I like learning. It's a lot sometimes, but I think I'll figure it out. But the hard part is, actually the product is not the hard part. The hard part is reach, but I've been doing content for like 3 years now. Literally this month makes it 3 years. So I'm not too worried about the content. It's just about selling, and that's all new for me. But as far as making content that people enjoy watching, I think I'm decent at that. Man, what's with the background? Beautiful dude, like you should have something magnificent back there. It's just what's wrong with the kitchen? What, what's wrong with the kitchen, man? The kitchen seems fine. Like, here's the thing. Like, I used to have the lights in the back on, but these lights here make it look so much better, and it kind of focuses your eye in the. It's a whole thing. I don't know, man. Come on, you're above a mere kitchen. Nothing wrong with the kitchen, dude. It's a studio apartment, man. What are you? It's technically a studio, but there's a dividing wall for the room. But I don't know. No, I think it's fine. I'm all about making it work with what you got, man. If you look at some of the older videos, it was even worse. So this is definitely an upgrade. Maybe one day I'll get a green screen or whatever, and just like, I don't know exactly what I would share because I don't do current event topic stuff, whatever. And even when I do, I don't like doing it. And oftentimes I'll even stop myself because it's so easy to like jump into the mainstream BS, all the distractions in the world that are trying to keep us from focusing on our own lives or maybe some higher purpose. I can respect that. Have a good one. You have a good one too, bro. But that's what I'm about. And I'm realizing, like, for these wallets, I'm trying to beat the competition on the market. The competition on the market is this. I'm not going to put their brand on here, but you should know what they are. I actually bought this off of Facebook Marketplace because it turns out plenty of people buy these, usually as gifts for their husbands or boyfriends, and then their husbands and boyfriends don't use it. And so they end up just going on Facebook Marketplace. This type of wallet here. It's a card holder. If you know what you probably know what it is. You've heard of it before. It's just like a card, just, oh, that's the wrong way. But you can stack cards in there, and this is the wallet. It's metal, but the guy I bought this from, his girlfriend bought it for him, but he wasn't really feeling it. So he ended up just going back to a traditional bifold. The same reason I use a bifold. I like carrying cash. Cash is king. It'll always be king, at least for the near term. So the thing is, a company like this relies on people buying it as a gift for dudes, because it turns out men don't really buy wallets. Men are gifted wallets, and so that's what sucks about the whole men's accessories space. And it turns out men aren't willing to pay a lot of money for a wallet unless it's a status symbol type, luxury type of thing. So they'll spend over $100, like what this is, or they'll spend $10 on some Amazon cheap thing that will look awful in like 2 months. But there really is no in between, and I'm trying to create that in between. Or I just go directly to the high end, where at this price point, with the upgraded wallet, which all the features I've been talking about, RFID, NFC tag, structure, nitinol would be really cool, a nickel titanium alloy to add some structure, and then also customizability, so you can actually like custom choose your own hardware, choose your own fabric, maybe even choose your own designs to screen print on there. And I think that's how I get to that premium price point, and that would just be for a select group of people who are actually interested in that. The rest of the people can get the standard wallet at, right now it's $25. So that's, I think, might be the strategy in the near term, but I'm just figuring it out in real time. But business is kind of tough, man. Like, I think a lot of people don't appreciate how tough building something in the real world actually is, especially at a low price point. You would think, oh, it's a low price point, more people, biggest market, everyone can buy, it's really accessible. It's like, no, everything costs more when it's small. Everything, because there's all these fixed costs that you have to pay for no matter how much you charge for your product, which means at small price points, it really hurts. It really hurts. For instance, shipping. You're paying a minimum $4 for USPS ground advantage shipping. That comes with the tracking number, which is an expectation people have these days. I figured out a way to ship these wallets without using USPS ground advantage, but still have some level of tracking. I had to figure that out because that $4 doesn't seem like it makes a big difference. But if your price point's at $25, there's all these fixed fees. You're gonna have to pay taxes, the shipping, the platform fees, the payment processing fees. By then, it turns out like anyone who's selling anything for less than $15, they're lucky if they keep $5 of that. They're lucky. And so what you're paying for, oh, and that doesn't even include ad spend, so the cost of customer acquisition. People don't even understand, like, it costs money to get your eyeballs to go to the website and purchase. Like, we businesses have to budget for that. And if it costs like $7, $10 for some product, it depends on the product and the price point of the product, but if it costs $10, $20 to get your eyeball to go to that website and make that purchase, then it's like, and that's not even actually how it works. It's not that it costs them specifically for you. It costs like $10 to $20 to get a bunch of people to see the ad. A small percentage of that will actually go to the website. A small percentage of that who actually go to the website will actually add to their cart. A small percentage of that will actually hit the buy button and complete the purchase. And so it's like all that was money spent on people who didn't buy to finally get to you, the one person who did buy. And that's how physical products are sold. Unless you can subvert it in some way, and that's where word of mouth comes in. And I think that's the only way that I can pull this off. It sucks. It sucks. But at the same time, it's also an interesting problem, which I kind of enjoy. So it's like, I'm in two minds about it. On the one hand, I wish it were easier. On the other hand, if it were easy, I would be bored. So I don't know. I'm conflicted, I guess. But yeah, e-commerce is a tough business, man. E-commerce is a tough business. But here's the thing, I have a following, okay? Table Moments, clearly on YouTube. Yeah, it's pretty sizable, but it was off of one short, so I don't think it's even worth really any utility there. Instagram is pretty sizable. TikTok is also pretty sizable. I just haven't been leaning onto the audience because I'm trying to get this right before I scale. I think a lot of people are so worried about like just move fast, break things, or like time is so valuable. It's like, no, slow down in a hurry, dude. Like, get it right first before you speed up. And I think this translates beyond just like business or content, or I think it translates to anything you're working on or learning. Actually, slow down, get it right, learn it right. And I think a lot of people just aren't patient for that. They just want that quick money. And then they start comparing themselves to other people, like, they got it there in 1 year. They got it. It's like circumstances are different. Maybe you guys are working on different things. Like this. And so, like, even when you're learning something physical, you're learning a sport or something, the first thing any coach should tell you is do it slow first. If you can't do the movement slow, how can you do it fast? But, I don't know. Everyone's so impatient these days. But it's okay. It's okay. And I'm documenting all this in real time. So if you follow the Instagram, you get to see it in the stories when I make updates to the design or learn things about e-commerce, and I'm just sharing it in real time. And hopefully people can get some use out of this so you don't have to go through the pain that I am. I'm sure there are other people who figured stuff like this out, but I think I'm doing it in a different way, which is the approach I took for content too. Like, I was even thinking about this today. Like, I could have easily turned this into a React channel. It's so easy to do that because the thing that makes reaction so easy is the hook. The hook doesn't have to be generated out of your own brain. It's already there. If you notice, people who react to already popular videos. There's something about those videos already that drew people in, that kept them watching, that got people to either watch it through the end, so it actually became favored in the algorithm, or people shared it with each other, which also is another way to go viral. And then they react to it, and then they think they're content creators. It's like, no, the hard part is the hook. And I'm actually reading a book on advertising where it talks about, like, if you're gonna put where to spend all your effort when it comes to a piece of copy or advertising is the hook, the thing that gets people to see the thing at all. If your hook is bad, no one's gonna care that the rest of it's good because they'll never see it. And so that's the big hack. So if you want to get into content creation or whatever, and you don't care how you do it and you don't care to get good at this, you just want followers and views, reactions, easily. Reactions, just go to your feed, see what the popular videos are, and then just make reactions off of that. Now, it's useful if you can have an interesting take, which is what I've done before. And it's the first time I ever went viral on social media was because I gave a take on a DoorDasher situation, eating the food. You've probably seen it. and I gave a different perspective from the driver's point of view. So if you can do that, give some unique stance or some perspective on something, then it might be actually, and it's true, it has to be true, then you actually do have a chance of like actually using that to go viral yourself, which is why like it's sort of like, I don't know, if I ever get down bad and I just need to like get views or whatever, I hope I don't even like thinking about the thought of doing that, so never mind. I'm not doing that. I think it's worth getting good at this stuff organically, just learning how to do this, how to make a piece of content that one, hooks people, but two, speaks to people on a deeper level. Because it's not just making content that gets views, it's about getting views the right way. I actually have a script prepared about this related to money, but I might have the right one for content. Like, it's not enough to get views. How you get your views matter. Like, are you spreading division and animosity and anger? Because those are easy ways to get views. Super easy ways. And that's how I did it. I would trigger people purposely. I have that in me. I'm a troll. I know. It's hard to imagine a guy with glasses, with a hoodie, who looks as put together as I am, except for the beard. I'm a troll too, okay? I get it. But, I mean, is that productive for the human spirit? I don't think so. Not just for other people, but even for yourself. And this is where audience capture comes in. I talk about this all the time because it's something I'm always keeping an eye out on. It's so easy to let yourself get manipulated into becoming a slave to the algorithm. This stuff happens all the time, and I see it in real time happen to people. I'm just like, dang, this person is losing themselves and they don't even know. And I couldn't even tell them anything. Like, the drug of a following is a dangerous thing, man. It's a dangerous thing. I wish people knew. You would not want this if you knew what you might have to become to get it. And I always keep in mind, like, I grow slower because I choose not to do certain things for this reason. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with taking the longer, harder path. I also accept that it will never be as big because of the path and the way I'm going about it. I think it's okay. And I wish people at least made an informed decision. You don't have to make the same moral decisions I have. That's up to you. But I mean, in the end, it's like, is your soul worth it? It's like, will it have been worth it where you give up your entire self for some views? Oh, or until you fall off, because that inevitably happens to people too. So you gave it up for the short term and some short-term success for eventually falling off, and then you're a shell of your former self and you're lost. No, I'm not doing that. I refuse to do that. I'm not doing that. So, aside from that, I don't really have I didn't prepare much tonight. I knew, like, I don't want to get into the habit of skipping weeks. I'm going to bring on the TikTok guys, and if you have any comments or anything, feel free to leave it in the chat. If you're new here, this is Table Moments, the Homies podcast. It's a podcast about anything and everything. It's basically just like all the interests that come up in my mind. Like, I'll find someone who's interesting on social media and bring them on to the podcast and be like, hey, let's talk about this thing. Let's talk about that thing. So there is no set topics. There is no niche. I do avoid politics on purpose because I find it incredibly unproductive. And I say this as someone who is deep into the political stuff, which is also another lane I could have went to and chose not to. So, only God knows. But it's like even the political commentators these days are weak sauce. They're not even good at what they do. So it's tragic how much worse everything has gotten for some views. Anyways, so if you look at the page, you look at the shorts, you're like, what is this about? Dude, I don't even know. It's just about, the way I like to describe it is like it's the Homies podcast where we talk about anything and everything. So like when you're hanging out with friends, you guys don't have set topics. You don't have a niche. There aren't things that you only talk, well, I guess sometimes with certain friends you talk about certain things. But like when you're among some true friends who you've known for a really long time, you guys can talk about anything. Like the conversation can go anywhere, and that's sort of the vibe I'm trying to bring to you guys. And that's where the name Table Moments comes from. Growing up, me family and friends, we would always hang out. We'd usually be at a table after lunch or dinner, just talking. And you guys know, if you've ever had it before, where you guys are just laughing your asses off, talking about whatever you got, wherever the conversation goes. Sometimes it can get heated, but in a sort of like productive, joyous way, not in a mean way. Or you can just be cracking jokes, or the dozens, you guys just laughing, having a good time. That's the idea behind Table Moments. And we gave it a name, Table Moments. That's where that name comes from. And out of the pandemic, had a conversation with my sister and other siblings, and it felt like that. And so I was like, oh, what if it's this podcast becomes like the Table Moments we used to have? And so that's why this exists, and that's where the name comes from. There's not much more to it. Like, unfortunately, at this point, it's just me. I'm the only remaining member now. I was the only one pushing it, and they all went in different directions. But I guess you guys can take their place. I don't know, because like every now and then I'll go back to the old stuff. I'm like, I was ahead of we were ahead of the time, dude. We were ahead of the time, because it still hits. It still hit. Yeah, the editing could be a little better. I know. I was all new to me, but even then, I just listened to. I'm like, this was actually a vibe. It was a vibe, but whatever. Things change. It is what it is. So all right, let's invite the TikTok people. It is 10:26. I think I'm gonna end at midnight, but yeah. Let's do live. I gotta get better at these monologues though. Yeah. This is TikTok people over here. You can see it. Hello everyone. Get some water here. Maybe I should like figure out, no, I don't care to do like, hey, here's what's going on in the internet. Let's do reactions. No. This, I think, has to stay organic. I did get my Yeezy pods though. I bought them back in February, and they finally arrived. And I was watching all these videos of people who were like unboxing the Yeezy pods, like, oh look, they finally arrived, whatever. They're mid pieces of content. So I'm like, ooh, what if, and because I've been reading the book Alchemy and getting into this e-commerce stuff, I'm realizing like maybe I can apply some of the marketing tricks and rules to turn $20 Yeezy pods into $200 Yeezy pods, their original price, but by upgrading the package. Because in the book I just finished reading, they talk about how packaging can make something feel so much better, feel premium. Like if you put cheap wine in a heavier bottle, it tastes better. And so I'm thinking like, what if I can improve the packaging of the Yeezy pods? Right now they just come in I guess a drawstring bag. But what if I can actually improve it? What if I can upgrade it? What if I can like also even upgrade the shoes itself? I have a laser cutter, I have vinyl. So I think it'd be pretty cool to like actually upgrade the Yeezy pods and then make a whole video about, hey, if you're selling anything, presentation matters, unfortunately, more than you know. And it'd be cool to actually do it with something people are already familiar with. And so, all right, so here's the anatomy of a good piece of content. One, familiarity, something people already know, which is the Yeezy pods. Also something a lot of people know. So again, the Yeezy pods. It's also associated with the brand, like Kanye. So a lot of people are familiar with that too. It also involves money, because money, relationships, health. Those are the big three that people seem to really, really care about. So if you can tie it to one of those three, it's also a good thing. As far as the virality stuff, in this case, it would be money. And then education is also good too. There is a hunger for actually figuring out how things work or being able to learn. People actually have a hunger for learning. And so if you can incorporate that. There's a guy, what's his name? Something Kane. He does social media and sending love from Hong Kong. Okay. I got to send love to you, bro, because I don't know how long Hong Kong's going to last. Hey, Jaden, Erland, Carrie, Cabiru, what's up? Oh, thanks for the roses, dude. But yeah, and so I think it'd be a pretty cool video, turning $20 Yeezy pods into $200 Yeezy pods, legitimately. And then that would just be a lesson in branding, positioning, packaging, and all that. And then maybe a second part of that video would actually be trying to sell it for $200. I think that'd be hilarious too. It's like, these are easy pods, but they're like, they have the Italian flag on it. We put these like vulture bones on. I have an idea. I want to use EVA foam, the kind of thing that the cosplayers use for their costumes, to actually upgrade the Easy Pods. And I think that would make for a much better video. So that's the idea. How's everyone doing tonight? Hey Jacob, how's it going? How's everyone doing? And then also, yeah, whatever. We could talk about other stuff. I don't know. I've just been really deep into religion and e-commerce lately. It's a weird combo, man. It's just been a heavy week of that kind of stuff. So it is what it is. Some comments in this live were filtered. What are you guys saying in the comment section? You gotta be. Here's the thing. If it were my comment section and I could control it, I'll let you guys say whatever you want. I don't care. Like, I don't mind trolls. I used to be a troll. A part of me will always have a soft spot for them, because I get it. They're just looking for a little bit of attention. They've been ignored their entire life. And I see you, bro. I see you. All right? That's what I'll say. Whatever. Here's the funny thing about like attracting trolls, which I've done. You guys sometimes get a little out of pocket sometimes, which is fine. I mean, it is what it is, but just like, you don't have to go so heavy here. This is a home, bro. You don't crap in your own house. You crap in other people's houses if you're gonna crap. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, man. Thanks for the likes, Astro. What's up? How you doing, man? Let's see. No bio. Okay. Yeah, feel free to leave a comment. I appreciate the likes, though. The hearts. Can you say free Palestine? I'll say free Palestine and Israel. Free them both from the violence that they are so determined on imposing on each other. Oh man, it's so tragic. I remember the college protests when I was going to school. Same thing 10 years ago. Same thing. It's just, except social media is a lot bigger now. So that's not helpful. It's like history. I don't know. It's not even history because it was just 10 years ago. It's all the same thing. Israel is not the victim at all, trust me. Have you traveled before? I have traveled before. I've been to Turkey. That's as far. I've been to several European countries too. Are you a math teacher? No. I was formerly an engineer. But I guess I'm going back into engineering technically because I'm designing my own stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I was thinking maybe I should become an engineering professor. I don't know. Like, I have an option. There's a possibility that might be in my future. But do you stream on Twitch? Yeah, I'm streaming on Twitch right now. I stream on all the platforms: YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. Find it Table Moments if you prefer on Twitch. So as far as travel though, I'm not trying to get into the Israel-Palestine thing. I think it's incredibly tragic. It's an incredibly tragic thing that people are killing each other over land. It's just, man, it's whatever. Do you think it's harder to succeed on YouTube or Twitch? That's an interesting question. I haven't succeeded on Twitch. I wouldn't even say I've succeeded on YouTube, although I did have a video that went stupid viral on YouTube, and it kind of blew up the following there. Not in a big way, it's like 15K, but it was less than 1,000 before that video, so one video made the difference on the YouTube. And the cool thing about YouTube is video on demand, so you don't have to follow a schedule. I don't know if it's great because it's like I don't know why people hit the sub button. Like if they're not watching the long form, what's the point? Because I got it off of a short, dude. It wasn't a regular long form video. It was literally a 60-second short. It was the same video that also went viral. Here's the funny thing. Sometimes you get a piece of content that will perform on all three platforms. So I actually somehow made one and it was a wholesome one. I didn't steal any content. It's not anything that's denigrating people or getting into people's emotions or anger or anything. It's literally about $2 bills and how paper is like it's like what people do for pieces of paper, essentially money. And yeah, I think it's like 9 million views on YouTube, 11 million views on TikTok. It's just crossed like 2 million views on Instagram and it's still doing numbers there. Twitch, on the other hand, is like, it has to be in that moment. So how many people can you get watching at the same time? And that's a hard thing. Cause like, this is why like, that's why I wouldn't be surprised if you need to just be constantly streaming on Twitch all the time, and why you have to rack those numbers up or those stream hours up. And I only stream once a week, so I don't see that as a future. And I don't care to do that because, like, you go live your life, man. What are you watching the stream for hours for? Once a week is fine, but like every day, I don't know, man. I guess people who are really killing it there really enjoy it, I guess. I'm white, but I F with fried chicken. Can I say the word? What's the word? What's the word? It's not the word I think it is it? TikTok won't even let you say it, so it is what it is. No, like everybody loves fried chicken. Everybody. No one chooses baked chicken over fried chicken. Nobody does. You think it's possible to make a living on Twitch? I think it's if you can consistently get views and if you have an audience and people who are interested in the stuff you're doing, I guess it's technically able. I don't know. I don't know the finances of it all. You know, I see the streamers and their clips on TikTok and all the other platforms, but why do you think they put the clips up, man? They put the clips to bring people to their Twitch stream. These are the biggest people on Twitch and they're still doing this stuff because they're trying to grow. Like, it turns out Twitch might not be enough. Here's the thing. A lot of people who are successful at this social media stuff, you start looking at their histories, like a lot of them just were on it early. And when you're early and the platform's still new and it actually has to care what content creators, when it has to actually care about the audience and the content creators, it turns out it's usually really, really great platforms to connect with people, and people love it and people draw to it. And if you're early, you get to enjoy a lot of those benefits. And then as the platform gets bigger and bigger, it gets worse and worse for everybody involved, but better for the platform itself because they get to extract value out of it. So they give so much value first. And so this is why it is kind of advantageous to be early on a platform. Now the question is like, how do you know which platforms to be early on? There's always platforms being created. Luck of the draw, man. Luck of the draw. So like, man, that's why it's like when people who've been in the game for like 10 years, like the Mr. Beast or whatever, it's like, you just gotta click-through rate, 70%, blah, blah. It's like, your videos show up on the standard YouTube page before you even log in, bro. Like, what are you talking about? You don't even understand how much, whatever. The guy doesn't get it. He doesn't remember what it's like to be a beginner. So I don't think so. I'm sure he's helped people, but then even then, like, if the advice is you gotta go big and you gotta throw a bunch of money at this stuff and big projects and spectacular videos, and it's like, that's one way to make videos, but they're also super forgettable videos. So as far as pushing the culture, I'm not interested, but I guess it works. Oh, and then stay advertiser friendly too. Don't forget that. That's a big thing, which I know my stuff, it's not. I don't care. This is why I sell my own products, because I know I'm not advertiser safe. I know I look like I am, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm gonna have to sell my own things, which is why, am I? Oh, my bad. What happened? Battery died? Let's see. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Thanks for that, Hawk. I appreciate it. But yeah, notice the popular YouTubers all started early. Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like, I don't care. I don't know, man. They can give advice and stuff like that, but in the end, we all follow our own path, and it's just like, what are you gonna do about it? Or you can worry about it as much as you want, or you can just like deal with this stuff. Is not gonna be fair. It's just not gonna be fair, and it's okay if it's not fair. Just know that going in. If this is the way you want to make money, there are easier ways to make money. There are way easier ways to make money. I'm not doing this for money. Yeah, the money thing doesn't matter to me. I think the culture just needs to be pushed, and I'm gonna push it. That's it. It really is that simple. Everyone complains about like, oh, censorship, this world, everyone's blah 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 blah. It's like, you can fix it. You just have to be willing to, and that's what I'm doing. And so yeah, that's what I'm about. One on YouTube, one on Twitch. I think here's the thing. Like, we're gonna try to make it through this. I've just been really tired. I stayed up a lot last night. Sometimes you get into a flow and you kind of just have to go with it, even if it's like 4 a.m. It's just like, I know I should go to bed. I'm gonna have to wake up early, but man, I'm on it right now. And so it's just like, you can't waste inspiration, guys. Don't waste inspiration. And even, I think, I guess some people are like, have schedules or whatever, and they're just like on it, or they're like, hey, I have this routine and I do this all. It's like, that's not how creative work works. You just have to let it come to you. And there's certain things you can do to make it happen. If you're looking for a good book on this, it's hella short. It's called John Cleese Creativity, A Short and Cheerful Guide. He basically explains, like, when you're working on creative stuff, the approach creative people take is letting the creativity come to them instead of like willfully trying to make it happen. And so it's like we get too hung up. And here's the crazy thing about creative work. It has outsized returns. It's not a linear thing. Like, a good idea could be more than just twice as good. It could be like 10 to 100 times as good. And you can't know until you start putting the stuff out. And so there's always this level of doubt. It's like, all right, this feels right, but I don't know how people are going to receive it, but I'm going to put it out there anyways. On the rare occasions you have a feeling about a piece of thing that you're making, art or content or music or something, where you're like, oh, this is going to be the thing that hits. I feel it. Actually, 99% of the time you feel that way, it's not true. But that 1% of the time where you do feel that way, it is true and you're right. And then it hits. And then it's like, oh, this guy blew up. It's like, oh, I don't know. It's just the stars align in such a way to make it happen. Some people call it the universe, some people call it God, but that stuff happens. And it's happened to me. So I kind of know it. And it's funny because like highly technical people don't understand this mode of creation they don't understand creativity. And I know it because I was one. I was one of these like highly analytical engineers, like super nerdy and like, oh yeah, this is stupid, that's not real, this isn't real, all that stuff. And then finally, when you get into the creative stuff, man, you can just get hit with inspiration, and then you just like, you gotta put it down somewhere. You gotta write it, you gotta make it, you gotta produce it, you gotta shoot it. It's just, you need to do it because you don't know how long it's gonna last. And that's something AI can never do. And so I'm not too worried about AI. If your job is like entering numbers into a spreadsheet because that's what the company uses to make financial decisions or project how much to order for the next quarter, yeah, that job's definitely going to get outsourced to AI eventually. First, they outsourced to people overseas, VAs, and now it's going to get outsourced to AI. But if you're doing truly creative work, I don't think you have to worry about it too much. And maybe AI is just a tool to help you create more. When you are inspired, maybe you don't have to rely on too many people. A lot of musicians are like kind of worried Because like, oh, I have to build an audience before I can even before I can be successful as a musician and all that, which is kind of stupid because the whole point of like being with the record label and being signed is that you get institutional support to help you. It's like an investment. At least that's what it used to be. I guess now it's like the expectation is you bring a following with you, which necessarily means it's rewarding people who are good at audience building and not actually good at the creative stuff, which means the stuff is going to get worse, guys. Music, art, entertainment, all that stuff is going to get worse. It's going to get worse because they're looking at the wrong metric. Bringing people along, building, which, I mean, if you know how to do this, you'll realize it's pretty easy to manipulate people into it. So it's just crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, I'm not too worried about AI. I know everyone's like doomsdayers or whatever. It does give me like that cryptocurrency or the big data vibes. I don't know if you guys remember around like 2012 to 2015 or whatever. Big data. It's going to change everything. We're going to be able to get all these insights from whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure there are pockets in industry where that's true, but generally, unless the big data just transformed into AI, because those transformational models have to get the data from somewhere, and those are massive amounts of information. But there is a really big flaw with AI is the memory issue, because it's still dated information. These models are based off of past information, and that I think is enough to discredit it. And I've tried using AI to help me with like even software, making software for myself. And it was citing old versions of the software instead of the current new way of using a JavaScript library. So I'm not too worried about AI. And I think it's just fear mongering. I just think it's fear mongering, but it's okay. I mean, like, you start realizing like all the news and the media can do is just tap into lazy emotions. That's all they do. I actually prepared a script for this. Let me see if I can pull it up. I don't know if I'll actually turn it into a video, but lazy, no, that's the wrong one. But essentially there's lazy emotions that if you're making content, then it's like the easiest and laziest one is anger. Anger is the easiest one to appeal to. Hey, what's going on, Anthony? I'm good, man. I'm good. Just talking about emotions right now and how content is tailored around it. Like, you know, people want to talk about like, oh, you just gotta tell a story or whatever. But it turns out like a lot of our media is just based around lazy emotions. Let me see if I can find it. Fear and anger are lazy emotions. So fear and anger, those are the two. Those are the two that are the news will always feed you. Which is why all the stuff you ever see. It's like they're spreading misery for money. That's essentially what happens. They're spreading misery for money. And it's just like, why? Oh, no, we're just being honest. We're informing people. And then when you look deeper into the story, it's not usually as bad as they say, or if it's something a positive story, it's not as good as it actually is. You realize these people just lie for money. And yeah, it is all fake news. It really is all fake news. I'm sorry. Like, you don't have to like 45, but he was right. He was right. I'm not sure what the heart meme means, dude, but I appreciate it. So, yeah, I'm not about that lazy emotion stuff anymore. I used to make content like that. If you go down deep into the feed, you'll see stuff like that. I'm not into that anymore. I kind of want to elevate the human spirit. Maybe, hopefully, one piece of content at a time. We'll see what happens, but I don't know. I'll try. I'll try my best. I feel like I am fighting this like one-man battle against the world. Just like there are a few people out here who are actually trying to do it too, and I see it. I follow a lot of people who are like that. So if you look at the following, you'll see a lot of Christian people, but you also follow people who are doing interesting stuff. And I think there is a category of people who would appreciate that, you know, who don't fall into that normal category of just like, oh, here's all this drama going on in the world, and let's get involved ourselves. And oh, the roast of Tom Brady. Huh? I guess some of those clips were funny, but like, yeah, is it worthy of news? I don't think so. Does the guy even still play football? I don't even know. Like, I don't even know. But whatever. And then now you got rap beefs and stuff. And it is tempting to make commentary on it. It's like, I was never a fan of Drake. I didn't really listen to Kendrick that much, but it's just funny. Like, everyone's just like, I don't know. And part of me thinks it's like it's all manufactured, because like they're they're all just I don't know. I'm highly suspect of it. Nice wallet. Thanks, man. Did you order one? I don't know the username. Are you new here? I like the Raiders. Oh, football? Okay. They don't still play in Oakland, do they? That's how out of touch I am, guys. Where do the Raiders play? Or is it Las Vegas? Where do they play? Yeah, Las Vegas. Dang, that sucks. That sucks. Man, wait, so Oakland doesn't have Golden State anymore. They don't have the Raiders. Do they have the A's? I feel like you gotta A's still playing Oakland. Applied to relocate to Las Vegas after the lease with the Oakland Coliseum expires at the end of the 2024 season. They'll play at Sutter Health Park in West Sacramento, California, beginning in the 2025 season. Bruh. Oh, man. Oakland lost it all? For real? All right. Can you hear me now? I don't know what's going on with this microphone. Can you hear me now? I appreciate you telling me. I must have just been speaking and people are just looking at my face like, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. Does it work now? Just put a 1 in the chat, guys, if you can hear me. I might have to restart the stream. I don't know what happened. But yeah, that sucks for Oakland. It's like, so people have loyalty to teams, but teams don't have loyalty to the people. That's crazy. So, I don't know. This is why I like the sports stuff. It's just distractions, man. I used to watch Formula One a lot. At least the last 2 seasons, I was watching a lot. Now, this season, I tried watching it, and I'm like, I shouldn't be watching this. Oil up, I'm on the way. What does that mean? Like you're an oil trader? I'm gonna take the most positive. I'm gonna try to read that in the most positive way. Are you an oil trader? Do you trade futures? Oil futures? Bengals fan 9. Hey, I have a question. Ask the question, bro. Just ask the question. Hey, Lynn, what's up? Those of you who are new here, this is Table Moments, the Homies podcast. We talk about anything and everything. We don't do what all the other streamers do, okay? This isn't a place of debate. This is a place of conversation. We're not angry. We're not trying to like get people to feel fear or anger, which are lazy emotions. Those are lazy emotions. But it kind of speaks to the people who thrive on that kind of stuff on this platform. Lazy creators. They're lazy. But it's okay. It's okay. And I'm not sure how, I don't know. I've been having a lot of issues with TikTok lately, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to even see your comment if you left it. I think there's like a mad delay. I wonder if I can see it on here on my computer. Maybe if I do that, I can see the ooh, I don't know why it took me so long to even consider this. But like if I go to my own live stream, which is what I think people do. View profile. I am currently live. Let's see. I have a question. Okay, feel free to ask your question. This might be the smarter way to do it because like I can actually see your comments on the side now. That's cool. And I wonder what the mad delay is, huh? Huh? What do you mean, huh? I'm talking about TikTok right now. I don't know. Someone wanted to ask a question and they just didn't. So I don't know. But yeah, I don't really have any. I have some other topics I wrote down. If you guys, I posted a video this week about nuclear physics and how alchemy is real. What's the capital of California? Sacramento. I guess that's where the Oakland A's are going to play. Which, so Oakland loses all their teams. Loses all sports teams. That's crazy. Yeah, Oakland's unprecedented triple exodus is a unique sporting tragedy. Dang. That's a shame. It's like these teams have no loyalty to the city that they were in, which is crazy. So it's like, why have loyalty to these teams when they're just ready to walk? The Raiders were born in Oakland? I don't know if that's true. My pet horse molested me. Any advice? I'm trying to come up with a witty response. Your pet horse molested. Any advice? Wrap it up. It's true. What's true? What do you look for in a man? I don't look for anything in a man. I don't look for anything in people, because people are deeply flawed. Yeah, because we love the teams. Yeah, you know, you give these teams so much love. You buy the jersey, you raise your kids, you take them to the games, and then they leave. And then they ask you to pay for their stadiums. Screw these teams, man. It's true, Oakland Raiders. Oh, that they were born there? They started there? Dang, so that sucks even more then. Golden State leaves for the richer city, the SF Tech Bros. Then the Raiders go to Las Vegas to chase the gambling money. And then apparently the A's are trying to get the gambling money too. These spineless, God, I don't like, I don't know, whatever. This is why I can't get behind sports, man. It's just stuff like this. I mean, I'm not one to judge. I used to watch Formula One, and then I am just like, it's a bunch of rich boys just like complaining about how they're not in a faster car. It's just like, what the hell, dude? Just drive. It's like, dang. That's crazy. Here's the thing. I think even like when they build new stadiums, they build them smaller because they build it for luxury boxes and seatings instead of like the average seat that anyone has accessibility to. This is the problem with, like, you know what? Socialism doesn't work. Communism's pretty horrible, but capitalism has some pretty deep flaws no one wants to talk about. This is the inevitability. Serving the rich, serving the people who have the most, because why bother with the least? It's all this effort and time and expense, but it's like, it's not even worth it. And I'm just like, this is the mindset like people have. This is why all you see around you is luxury corporate and luxury residential apartments. Because like, why bother? Why bother building affordable stuff? Because you can make way more money just serving the luxury. You can charge way more and you can extract more value out of it. It's a safer bet. It's easier to do. You deal with the higher class of clientele. And so it's just like, I don't know. Sports are a complicated thing to enjoy. It's simulated combat, I think, is one way to describe it. I can understand the male hunger for violence, but you channel it in something like a sports team. So maybe with that perspective, that's a good way to justify sports as a way to channel male aggression, which would otherwise, I don't know where it would go. Maybe the ideal would be that we learn to channel it ourselves and use it in productive ways, but you're asking people to become godly, which, I mean, people don't really mess with that anymore, so that's the problem, I guess. But I don't know. If that's the justification you want to make for it, to me, sports just looks like a way to distract the people from the real problems in their lives. That's what it looks like to me. A Coliseum, right? Before Rome's downfall. That's what it was. The delay on YouTube is too much? Dang. Wait, let me see. What, with the comments? Well, I mean, I am switching back and forth, and whenever I do the thumbs up symbol, Apple, for whatever reason, has to put an emoji on the screen, which kind of ruins it, not gonna lie. But I understand, man. Yeah. I'm trying to keep up. I'm still new with I don't know, I'm not new with live streaming, but I am new with like trying to be more active. And I mean, all this is just off the top of my head. So even today, I don't think I have the energy to give it what it deserves, but I'm trying. So I appreciate all the comments though, because I know it's a lot harder to just riff when people aren't there in the comment section actually leaving comments. So, but yeah, sports teams. I don't know. It would be. I think it would be really cool. Let me catch the Scream in a World War II veteran ear and turn the lights on and off around an epilepsy person. I don't know why it was so hard for me to read that. I'm not sure what you mean, bro. Scream for real? Why? What is it? Is it better now? I don't know. I'm still getting used to this microphone, man. If that's what you guys are referring to, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. You can outrun World War II veteran. What? Okay. What do you guys know about World War II? I'm so confused. What are you guys talking about? It's just like just World War II. I don't know. I don't know. World War II is a product of World War I, which is just a tragedy, which never needed to even happen. You start realizing, if you're really a student of history and start looking at warfare and why any of this stuff happened, it's tragic, the reasons why any of this stuff happened. Which is why you see the stuff in the Middle East right now. You have the conflict there, and it's just like, this didn't need to be this way. It didn't need to be this way. But whatever, people, combat, aggression, us versus them, which is why I like the Christian message of like anyone is welcome and part of this family. Like, and even treating strangers who aren't, treating them well. Or like loving your enemy. Imagine if both sides of this Middle Eastern issue loved their enemy, loved each other. Imagine the world they would both be enjoying right now. Because I think it could be very compatible if they, I don't know. I guess it's simplistic to say, but whatever. Be a Jew in Germany in the 1940s or be black in Mississippi in the 1950s. Yeah. The question was either to scream in a World War II veteran's ear or turn on and off the lights of an epilepsy person. That was a question. You got to put a question mark, bro. There's no question mark here. I just read it as a statement. All right, fine. I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all. But I'm glad it made sense to you, Soul Market, for sure. I missed that completely. You'd be black? Yeah, probably. Mississippi, 1950. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a tough one. They're both pretty bad. Although Soros made it out of it somehow, and made it out of it wealthy. So, that's a tough one. I don't know. I don't know if I can make that choice. I don't know. That's a tough one. He'd be black though. You say that as someone. You sound like you say that as if you say that like someone who isn't black. That's what it is. Which is cool, I guess. It's all good, bro. That's funny. The black thing is pretty interesting. Like, as far as white America is concerned, I am black. But as far as black America is concerned, there's a little bit something more. They can tell I'm not really black like a black ADOS. What do they call it? Is it ADOS? ADOS. Black American descendants of slavery. I'm not. Which I'm not. I'm not. Which is a funny thing. I was thinking maybe I should make this video about like affirmative action and how it turns out like when it comes to people of color and black recipients of affirmative action in these colleges and universities, it tends to be people of African descent, not American slave descent. It turns out the people who take advantage of these these programs at these universities are the sons of immigrants, the sons and daughters of immigrants. And it's just like, that's not really the intent. That's not supposed to be there for them. But, you know, white America doesn't care. As long as you look the part, that's all that matters. And then you realize it's all just superficial stuff. And this is whatever. Another question, live in North Korea or live in communist Cuba? In Cuba, you can swim. So, but those are both pretty bad. Yeah. Cuba seems, yeah, communist Cuba probably. I don't know. Have you guys read the book, Pol Pot, Survival in the Killing Fields? Communism's pretty horrible, dude. Pretty horrible. Like, man, the book, dude, some of the things they did, dude. I can't even say it would get the stream banned, but yeah, communism's pretty bad. That's how I got to America. Okay. All right. You swam. Remember that kid? There was one kid who came from Cuba or something. I forget his name, but what's that mean? Oh, funny. Yeah. Dead laughing. I learned that one. I don't know. I don't have my AI translator in the chat right now. I don't really keep up with a lot of the lingo that people use these days, but I'm learning. But those are interesting would you rathers for sure. All right, here's another one. It's something that isn't so politically charged. Would you rather suffocate in space or die by drowning in the ocean? That's an interesting one. I'll put it in the chat for anyone who wants to see it. Drown in or suffocate in space or drown in the ocean. I think that's an interesting would you rather. And one I've actually answered before. There's a cool way to die. Ugh, I gotta even be careful with these words because you know how YouTube is. Yeah. YouTube just rejected the space. Space, interesting. Why space? Why space? Suffocate, you can see something beautiful before you die. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Space is the right answer. Space is the right answer. I don't know what it would feel like though, to like, it's not just suffocation, it's like the blood inside of your body would immediately boil because it turns out like pressure or the boiling temperature is a function of pressure. And when the pressure is vacuum, essentially, the water would essentially just gasify immediately. And so that's why you'd swell up. So you would just be boiled alive, technically. Yeah, you would actually be boiled alive. That's what it would feel like. I don't know if it would actually feel like you're being boiled alive, but you would technically be steamed alive, I guess. That's what would happen. You'd be steamed alive. That's what would happen. It's pretty awful. Your eyes would just... Yeah, I don't know. Just think about that. Now that I'm thinking about it, the actual mechanics of this, I'm starting to question whether or not that answer makes sense. But yeah, thought I'd freeze. It'd also be very cold too. Yeah, but because of the pressure, maybe I might have to make a video about this where like, because it's familiar to everyone, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, whatever. But it turns out you can reduce or you can increase the boiling temperature or the steam temperature by increasing the pressure, but the opposite is also true. You can actually reduce the boiling temperature by reducing the pressure. And so, to the point, there's a whole chart you can see, like there's a chart that shows the phases of water and where it would be at certain temperatures and pressures. It's just most people never get to experience a pressure outside of atmosphere. The only other time people ever experience a difference in temperature is when they're, or a difference in pressure is when they're in an airplane, essentially. So, have you seen Avatar: The Last Airbender? I've seen the movie, which I wasn't a fan of. I think I watched a few episodes of the first season of the show. I'm not a cartoon. I'm not really a cartoon anime. I know it's not anime. I know it's not anime, but I'm not really a cartoon guy. So, yeah. But why? Is it related to the discussion about air? I'm not. Yeah. Have you seen Attack on Titan? That's the only anime I've watched. I don't know. I just never got into the cartoon stuff. It's just not. Although the DC animated movies are actually pretty good, so I'll watch animated movies. I don't really. I don't really get into TV shows anymore because it's just like a huge time commitment. Just like I don't care to drop 10 hours on this show, and I have like a need to complete things, so it kind of ruins it for me if I'm like 10 hours, then I don't even know if I'm gonna like it. Yeah. I was just gonna ask if you thought Sokka had game. Is that a character? Did he get the girl? That's the question. Does Sokka have game? Sokka's game, The Last Airbender, Reddit. Everyone's talking about Aang, but no one's talking about how Sokka pulled the baddest females on the show. Okay. They're all cartoon characters, man. He got 5 girls. That's it. Okay. In the whole show. 5? He's a modest guy. Okay. How many backbender memes have been made? Literally everyone talks about this. Man, nobody ever talks about this thing that totally gets talked about all the time. Oh, literally everyone talks about it. Hate posts like that, LOL. Oh, so they're like saying, when did Aang pull the baddest female of the show, or even Sokka? I don't remember Azula falling for either of them. What? Oh my god. These are cartoon characters, guys. Come on. What the hell? Watch Death Note. I saw the movie with, what's his name? The black guy from Get Out. I think he was pretty decent. I think he was a detective, right? Death Note is great. Or do you guys mean the actual anime? Because I'm not going to. I'm not. I don't. And I know you guys are probably purists and you're like, oh, you gotta watch it dubbed or you gotta watch it subtitles. Sub or dub, right? That's the debate. Sub or dub. I've gotten into like watching movies with subtitles now. So actually I haven't watched movies in a long time, but I read books. I don't know. Yeah. Wow. Very descriptive. The black guy. Dub? No, what's his name? Oh yeah, that's not very descriptive for Get Out, right? Get Out cast. It's Lakeith Stanfield. Death Note. Yeah. Was he the detective? Or no, Lakeith Stanfield was the demon. L. Which is, I don't even know, dude. You guys know this better than I do. But yeah, I think I'm a dub kind of guy too, but I also like the subtitles. But it is kind of annoying when the subtitles don't match the dub. And then in which case you have to go sub only. I don't know, for whatever reason I like. On the other hand, if it has like really, really good visuals, then the sub kind of defeats the whole purpose of all the. Because imagine the person put all this effort in all the details and all the frames of all the drawings to make this animated thing, and then you're just gonna go and spend all your time looking at words, the dialogue. So the writer gets all your attention, which is probably supposed to be the way it's supposed to be, but still. Like if I was an artist working on these shows, I'm like, you watch it sub? What's the point of doing all this work if you're watching it sub? You know? That's, I wonder. But that's funny. But yeah, the only anime I've watched is Attack on Titan. It's funny, my siblings are actually pretty big into anime, and my sister especially. She really, I don't know, man. I can't get into it. I can't get into it. I don't know. It's just like, meh. Does Dragon Ball Z count? Oh. Like who had the most Riz in DBZ? Who had the most Riz? I'm pretty sure Goku kept himself. I'm not sure if he yeah. If dub DBZ counts, cool. Oh God what? Or on God. I'm pretty sure Vegeta might have the best game. You got to give that red pill energy, you know? That like screw the world, I'm doing my own thing type of thing. Vegeta might have the yeah, I don't know, Piccolo's an alien, so I guess he doesn't need to have Riz. Sweet Lord. I don't know. Like it's been a while since I've seen it, so I honestly can't say for certain, but I'm pretty sure Vegeta with a hairline like that. Yeah. He's a short king, bro. He's a short king who happened to pull, dude. A short king who pulled Bulma. How? They don't even like each other. They don't even like each other. And he pulled her anyways. I've been in situations like that. Yeah, okay. Like if you know, it's a lot of, I don't know. I don't really need to describe it. Personally, I'd mess with Master Roshi. Would you? Master Roshi. He's the old guy with the Master Roshi. Yeah, of course, dude. Did Vegeta have game before he settled down with Bulma? I remember him thinking the female species is such an enigma about her in the Trunks saga. Makes me think he wasn't actually that experienced with dealing with women. Why are people concerned about the love lives of anime characters? He's a hermit. He is a hermit, dude. This is crazy. His planet was destroyed while he was a child and comes from a race of warriors and planet conquerors, so it's highly unlikely. No, that's what makes women interested. He's dark and mysterious. Duh. Like what? It's crazy that people even care. Saiyans don't have relationships outside of breeding purposes. Toriyama said that Bardock and Jean were an exception. This basically add that Vegeta also grew up pretty much with only guys around. The scene during the Broly movie is canon, and I doubt he ever cared about women until his time on Earth with Bulma. Dude is mad awkward up until like Battle of the Gods at the earliest. There's no way he had any kind of romantic experience before Bulma. It's okay to be awkward, guys. Girls like awkward too. Like what? Like guys, it's fine. Like I don't understand. Do you have Riz? I have me. I wouldn't call it Riz. It's not Riz anyone else can do. It's me. I'm just me, and for a certain class of women, it works. You better be on incognito mode for real. I'm not sure what you mean. I think I'm missing it, but yeah, you can be weird and girls will still be into you. You think like I have weird taste in music. I like reading books. I don't go out. I don't party. I don't listen to hip hop like that. I couldn't tell you anything about pop culture, and guess what? I never had problems. Never had problems. You can be you. You just gotta own it. You gotta own it. So I think Vegeta had game. And plus, you know, the whole dark, mysterious type. If you're one of those people who like keeps to yourself, or you don't, you let on less than you don't tell people too much about yourself because you're just a naturally introverted person. Somehow that's oddly appealing. So now what you do with it, that's up to you. But I'm pretty sure Vegeta just took his craft so seriously that he just didn't mess with it until he ran into Bulma, and he was like, "Ooh, think I could do something with you." How fast I start stroking? Okay. If I was me, I'd be in jail. Why? What'd you do, bro? Did you hurt somebody? Hey, Alex. All right, what's up, TikTok people? I know I just been reading these weird comments on YouTube. You know, it's interesting that you guys are on YouTube because normally I get weird comments like this on Twitch. Twitch is where all the freakos go. That's where they are. But here you guys are on YouTube too. It's crazy. It's fine. Just don't snitch on yourself in the comment section. Remember, this is all recorded. Pretty sure Bulma saw that it was possible to have a kid with a human and a Saiyan with Gohan, and probably was the antagonist in the relationship. Honestly, I think it was more mechanical at first. Bulma, being the richest and smartest person on there, saw a chance to have a child, since Chi-Chi and Goku did with different species. Probably thought she could have one to benefit some scientific or then second chance for Earth, seeing all the crap that's in the universe. She was only non-Z fighter and Earthling to go to Namek and see there are threats out there. All right, whatever. Ugh, people really get into this stuff, huh? I've gotten into a couple kerfuffles. Okay. Let's keep it at kerfuffles. Don't snitch on it. But that doesn't have to be your future. So everyone can be redeemed, despite what Hillary Clinton thinks. No one is irredeemable, man. Because none of us can judge anyone else. So yeah, it's you're not relegated to your past, man. You're not. She D. I'm not sure if I understand that, and I don't think I want to. I sent mid-sentence. Okay. I am curious why the TikTok people watch and then don't comment. I don't understand that. Did I miss anything here? No, you guys are just watchers. Just it's fine. It's fine. It's very weird. The whole point of this, well, I'm not going to tell you how to be here. Just do whatever you're comfortable with. But the idea being is like we all get to talk with each other just about randomly about anything and everything. So don't feel the pressure to participate, but at the same time, like I don't think a lot of other people out here would be interested in hearing what you have to say. So this is an open platform for everybody. She deaf. How does she hear her? She's deaf. How does she hear her thoughts? Who is? What are you referring to? I'm missing it, bro. You guys, look, I'm trying to keep up with this stuff, but you gotta like make it a cohesive thing, man. Like, I don't understand. Who are you referring to? Who's this she? Is it Bulma? Bulma's deaf? No. Is she deaf? Is Bulma? No, it's not. It can't be. I don't know. I don't think it's Bulma. Helen Keller. Oh, okay. It's a Helen Keller joke. Got it. She deaf. How does she hear her thoughts? Images. Well, I guess she was blind too, huh? Blind and deaf, but somehow did all these things. Wait, let me double check that. Helen Keller. At the age of 19 months, Helen became deaf and blind as a result of an unknown illness, perhaps rubella or scarlet fever. As Helen grew from infancy into childhood, she became wild and unruly. What does that mean? Did Helen Keller actually learn to write? Helen Keller enthusiastically learned everything she could about the world around her. Over the next few years, Keller learned sign language and braille system, and her ability to read and write was born. I wonder if she was like completely blind or like legally blind. If she was legally blind, then I'm like, okay, then technically she might be able to see certain things, but not enough like we can. I think there's some missing information here. She was actually born with both sight and hearing, but lost it. She learned via touch by having the words for various things spelled into her palm. She learned to speak by feeling people's lips as they talked. All right. That's... my cap wants to come out so hard right now. I don't know. I'm highly... You know what? Now that I understand how fake the news really is, at least considering these last few years, I doubt everything in history now. I think she was legally blind, yeah. Okay. That makes more sense. That makes way more sense. The truth and only correct answer is that she had an amazing teacher. There's a lot more to it than... But without Anne Sullivan, her story would be different or non-existent. Yeah, don't. Well, she wasn't really born blind and deaf, but she did lose her sight and hearing at a very young age to scarlet fever. That said, she lived without any real way to learn to communicate with others, but her parents brought in Anne Sullivan, who was blind herself. But Sullivan was also a certified teacher of the blind. She derived a system of signing where the listener would feel as opposed to see the hand signs. In short, she taught Keller how to communicate by touch. Okay. I don't know. I built a birdhouse today for my Mother's Day. Okay, that's cool. Alexis, hey, how's it going? How are you? How's your week been? Nice to see you here again. Hopefully you... Please tell me you upgraded your mac and cheese this week. That's such a tragic story. That was the saddest thing I heard on live that night. It's actually so good to see you again. Likewise, just please upgrade your mac and cheese. Upgrade your mac and cheese. What? I'm reading this off of TikTok. We have a returning person. Yeah, I remember. Why would I remember? It was only a few days ago. It's a memorable thing to leave my live stream, to go to the store, to get Kraft mac and cheese, not even the nice stuff. You didn't go Velveeta, you went with Kraft. And I don't think you mentioned that it was Kraft, but I think I inferred that based on how horrible the experience was. Then you go make it, and you come back and tell me how disappointing it was. For what? You should have just kept that to yourself. What happened to her mac and cheese? It was just a basic mac and cheese that was incredibly disappointing. It was definitely Kraft. Yeah, I know. Kraft is not where it's at. Seriously, like, man. I should have, though. Yes. How's your week been? It's just like, how you gonna leave my live stream for crappy mac and cheese? That's crazy. It's Kraft mac and cheese. It's always disappointing. Yeah, it's satisfaction. It's a what's the word? I don't know. I don't have it today, guys. I'm sorry. It's just a mediocre. It's a mediocre mac and cheese. It turns out most things that become mainstream end up being like this, where it's just moderately acceptable, and that's good enough. It's good enough, apparently, to most people. But You know, as you elevate your taste buds and your mind and the things that you're into, you start realizing, you know, this mid stuff doesn't really hit anymore. Especially considering inflation kind of ruins a lot of this stuff too, because they can't change the prices because it's made for the mass market, but they can't afford to put all those things and still make a profit. And so they have to cut back in quality, and we get the mid stuff we get today. And it's just tragic. But I'm glad you saw the error of your ways, Alexis. Am I saying your name right? Is it Alexis? Alexis. I think it's right. Should breadcrumbs crumbs be on mac and cheese? Should breadcrumbs be on mac and cheese? That's a good question. It does add a layer of texture, but it also acts as a protective layer when it's in the oven when you're broiling it or you're cooking it at high heat. It doesn't actually dry the cheese out. So I think it serves the actual physical purpose there. But bread is also delicious, so my answer is yes. My answer is yes. I don't care what anybody says. It seems like the right answer to me. I had it once at someone's house and it was good, but then again, I was a kid, aka not a credible source. You know what's interesting? Like, it's not enough that the food has to be good, or the food doesn't even have to be good. What sometimes influences the way something tastes, or actually most of the time, is the environment. This is why food in a fancier restaurant tastes better. The food doesn't actually have to be better. It just, the ambiance is enough to make it taste better. Wine tastes better when it comes out of a heavier bottle. Why? I don't know, but it does. And it's like, there's all these like little things. Like, why does fish and chips taste better when you're right next to the sea? Because it doesn't taste as good when you're in a city center away from the water. Seafood tastes better near the water. There's no reason why it should, but it does. And so it's just like, maybe to make Kraft mac and cheese taste better, you have to be in a loving home. Maybe that's what made it taste so much better. It's because of the care and the love that was there. Man, that would have been a great Mother's Day card. That's what I'm thinking, but yeah. It's like, because yeah, I do agree. Like, when we were a kid, it tasted so much better. The stuff tasted so much better. Like, I remember eating McDonald's as a kid. It was delicious. It's great. No, it was good because we weren't allowed to eat it. Interesting. Okay, that might even be another angle for that. Things that you weren't allowed to have are seen as more rare and special. Makes sense. Which is why also expensive things might also taste better too, because they're rare and hard to get, and you have to pay a heavy price for it. So is it, I don't know. You guys know I've been getting into this whole e-commerce thing, and I've been struggling with like pricing. Like, how do I price this stuff? I want it accessible so that the common everyday man can afford it, but at the same time, this needs to make enough margin that I can fund the podcast and this media stuff from it. And I don't currently have the scale, but eventually I will. But I have to get there, and that's what the money could help with. Now, the question is, like, do you increase the prices knowing that people will get more satisfaction because they paid more for it? I don't know. I don't know if I have an answer for that. Like, on the one hand, I put myself in their shoes and think, I would like things to be affordable. On the other hand, people get more value out of it because you charge more for it. It's crazy. But that's how people are. It's crazy. Stolen water is always sweet. Good take. Yeah, stolen. I never heard that before, but I like it. Stolen water is always sweet. Yeah. I don't know. I like the quote. I bought truffles once and they tasted horrible. Waste of $150. Dang. Oh, man. That sucks. I know. Like, I don't know. Good take, it's scripture. Oh, for real? Is it? Ooh, thank you for that. Stolen water is always sweet. Proverbs. I haven't read Proverbs yet. I've been, because I know I'm gonna enjoy it so much, so I've like saved it as like a special treat. I do that with the Bible. I'm just like, Proverbs are gonna be an enjoyable read for sure. Similar to Proverbs, this is by Nassim Taleb. Nassim Taleb, Bed of Procrustes. Procrustes. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but basically, it's philosophical and practical aphorisms, sort of like the sort of structure of Proverbs, but a more secular view and a more utilitarian view of this stuff. But I think his ideas when it comes to like commerce and anti-fragility are pretty interesting. Hello, Brandon. Man, Proverbs is literally my daily snack. You will fall in love with it. I know, but here's the thing: the whole like it's so tempting to like take verses out of there, right, and use it in your daily life and stuff. But obviously, you read the Bible, so context matters. And so, like the author, the position he was in, King Solomon, when he was like, I don't know. You just have to keep it in context. So it's so easy to take stuff out of context, which is what also like if I'm going to read it, I'm going to have to read it all the way through. And then also like probably pair it with, I've already read the book of Ecclesiastes, so I think it might be better to, I don't know. But yeah, Proverbs, man. If you could only eat one type of meat, what would it be? That's a good question. Ground turkey, probably. I figured out how to make that taste good. 99% lean. 99% lean. So I'd get plenty of protein that way. You tired, aren't you? Yep, I am very tired. I stayed up last night and then I woke up to go to church this morning. Like, I got like 2 hours of sleep, but I had a sort of obligation. And then I went to bed, got a few more hours of sleep, and then woke up. And yeah, I would say this day hasn't been that productive. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, absolutely. A lot of people, we apologize. Okay, going to bed. Good night, guys. Good night, Alexis. Good night. Best Wi-Fi provider to go through? I mean, that's an interesting way to phrase that question. Because internet provider? Because Wi-Fi is just whatever router you want to use. You could just buy that yourself. I know T-Mobile has like home internet through SIM cards and stuff. Internet? Okay, yeah. You have a few options. All right. So here's a hack. Now, if you live alone and you don't really need high bandwidth, and this guy says AT&T. I currently am using AT&T, but my only other option was some other provider. I only had two options, and AT&T was one of them. I've used Google Fiber, which is nice because their speeds are hella fast, and it's a reasonable $70 a month, which might sound like a lot. But if you need an internet hack and you just want as cheap an internet and you don't do anything to like streaming or uploading massive files or anything like that, what you could do is get a tablet line from your cell provider that gives you unlimited data. So for a tablet, and then you put it into these Wi-Fi boxes. It's basically a router with like a 4G LTE antennas, and you could put the SIM card in there, and then you can get home internet, basically. That would be your router, the Wi-Fi signal that you use. And I think cell providers, as an add-on item, would charge you like $10 a month for that. So T-Mobile has actually turned it into an actual home internet service for $50 a month, but consider that. I actually used internet like that for like a good couple of years, and I actually tried starting an internet company or a technology company offering that as a service. It didn't go anywhere because we didn't get the green light from these cell providers, but it would have been really cool. There's this whole like last mile problem when it comes to providing home internet to rural customers, and it's like 25 million homes, according to the government, that don't have adequate internet service, which this would have been an easy thing to provide for them. I think about that company every now and then. Just like, man, we really could have done something there. But yeah, consider that. But as far as internet service provider, you're probably not going to have too many choices unless you live in a major city. So that's what I'd say. I don't know. Any other questions, people? I know a lot about a lot of different things. But I say that in a humble way. There's so much I don't know as well. Man, let's see if I can give this another 5 minutes, and then I think I'm going to call it quits. But yeah. Any questions related to anything, feel free to put it in the chat. All right. What's an interesting story about your time in high school? I think by asking that question, I'm going to presume you're also in high school. High school wasn't that interesting for me. I honestly found it a complete waste of time. Like, the most interesting thing that I did in high school was take college classes while I was in high school. There was a local community college actually built a branch of their school next to my high school, so I was able to take some classes there, and then also I was able to take like math courses at the main campus, and I enjoyed that. And they transferred it and became college credit, so I actually got a chance to enter as a sophomore because of it when I went to university. What do you look for when picking internet, and do you know how to make beats? What do I look for? I just look for bandwidth or their service speeds. No, it's service speeds. Yeah, bandwidth. Megabits per second is really... I think I'm using AT&T's 500 megabits per second service. 500? Yeah. Which the AT&T guy's like, you probably don't need it. I'm like, I upload videos to YouTube, bro. I appreciate the speed. But if you don't really need that, then 100 megabits is probably more than enough, even for a whole family. Because like people don't really, you think you need super fast, you don't. Like the average, if you watch high definition video on the internet, let's say YouTube or Netflix or something like that, you only really need about 10 megabits per second to make it work well. And so like modern internet service is more than fast enough to do like 99.9, no, actually for most people, 100% of the things they'll ever do on the internet. So I would go with look at the service area, look at the reviews of their service in your area. See if people have issues with like installation, customer service, or downtime. Those are the things I would look for. And then if those things are satisfied, just go for the cheapest option and you're good. And look for, yeah. As far as beats, yeah, I've made some instrumentals. You can find it. Actually, maybe I'll just put it in the chat here so you guys can listen. They're weird beats, not gonna lie. But it's been a while since I've published. I have a bunch of stuff I haven't posted, but I'll put it in the chat. Sensation is my favorite. Maybe I'll just share one. I don't know. You could, yeah, I'll share one. And then you could check out the channel if you want to check out the other ones. This is my best one, though. This is my best one. What's your favorite game? Formula One. Racing simulators. I can really lose track of time when I'm playing a game like that. It's so easy to lose track of time. Do you have advice on how to grow tomatoes? Oh, that kind of beats? Yeah, different type of beets. Yeah, no, not growing. Oh, I thought like the food. Yeah, yeah. No, you didn't write it like the food. Do you know how to make beets? Yeah, it's BEATS. I think it's hilarious that you thought food. That's an interesting perspective for sure. You like beets. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone ever say that before. They like beets. I don't know. I can't even remember the last time I ate a beet. But do you like Stranger Things? I don't really watch No, I don't think so, dude. Soul make market. I just think it's funny. That's where your mind went. I think it's just hilarious. I got Optimum and it's 500 megabit one. It works good in some places of the house, but not in my room. What should I do? So that might be an issue with your router, or you can get one of those extenders or whatever. So you can just buy a router on, or yeah, just go to Amazon and look for a router. That's your issue. It's not the internet itself. If you have 500, do one of those internet tests, like speed testers, whatever, and in the room that it works well in, and see what your speed is. There's always going to be a delay because it's being wirelessly transmitted to the line there, but just buy a router that can actually send the signal further. What room should I do? The one where the router is, the thing with the like thing sticking out of it, or the box, wherever the box is. If it's one of those like IS where they gave you the equipment, it usually isn't well designed to travel throughout an entire house. And so that's the thing. You could just plug a router into that. You could see the back. Just Google routers, and that will probably solve your problem. LOL, yeah. Do you know the show Reba? Yeah, because I didn't have cable growing up. So, like, I watched syndicated TV, and Reba was one of those shows. I never enjoyed it. But what's his name ended up becoming the guy in Shameless, which is crazy to think about, right? The boyfriend guy who's like obviously Christian family, whatever, and but then he becomes like this, plays this dark character or whatever. Not dark character, but definitely like a urban character in Reba. What made you start YouTube? Because I started the podcast during the pandemic. It was an audio only podcast feed, and then realized like, all right, how do you grow a podcast? Turns out the only way to do it is through social media. And so I was like, all right, what are the social media platforms? It's Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. And so I started posting stuff on all of them at the same time. I even built an app to help me do it, posting content and stuff. And then now I just focus on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. LinkedIn isn't really my thing. I'm not much of a Twitter dude. And yeah, and so really that's the only reason. I started because my friend, I couldn't make a YouTube video. What do you mean? Wait, let me see. Let me check out your channel. Put your, if you can, put your channel in the chat. Let me see if I can find your channel. Soul Market. Go to channel. Cool. Okay. Found it. Oh, yeah. You're pretty. Okay. Thank you. I'm not sure if you're about to troll me right now, but go ahead. I got 9 subs. Pretty good, right? I mean, it's better than 0. So yeah. Like, it's weird. YouTube's like it's a tough game. I mean, it's 12 videos. So when's the last time you posted? 1 year ago? Gameplay footage? Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not judging. Like, I can't say I figured out YouTube. I wouldn't say I have. I had one video go stupid viral, and that's it. I can't repeat it, so I don't really consider. You know, I have this rule, right? I call it my hat trick rule. I have to get at least 1 million views 3 times before I consider myself decent at it. And so far on YouTube, I've only done it once. On TikTok, I get views. I get views all the time. Not all the time. It's just like those rare times when a video does go viral. I have videos from a year ago crossing 1 million views. That's how it works sometimes. And I know, because like, if you want to know game on content, I can go off, bro. That's an easy conversation for me to go off on. So let me know. Otherwise, like, I can rein it in, but I can give you all the game I know, or DM me on Instagram, whatever you want to know, any issues, please. Like, I get bored and make a video. Yeah. Do you have any advice? I want to make videos, but I don't know what to post. I had that issue too. I had that issue too. Uh, what do you feel like posting? Is there anything that you find interesting, whatever you're learning or whatever you're into right now? Like, eventually you're going to start learning what type of content to post, which, I mean, that's one strategy. I've never taken that strategy. But I do write ideas down. But I think in the beginning, if you're still new and you haven't posted anything before, the game is to just post. Just post anything. Like, what are you thinking right now? You could post a video about how you joined this guy's live stream and he was ranting all over the place and he has no niche. Like, you can make a video about that and you can give your thoughts on that. Or the thing is, when you're new and you haven't posted before, you're gonna have to get comfortable in front of the camera. So it doesn't matter how good your ideas are, or if you could put together a polished video with the script or whatever, you still got to be comfortable in front of camera. And it turns out in the modern age, like, I know a bunch of people want to talk about faceless YouTube videos. Like, there's a reason why faces work really well on social media, because you're building a human connection, at least virtually. So you got to get comfortable in front of the camera. And yeah, it's awkward, but it was awkward for me too. Like, before, it was just podcast clips, and then I started posting pictures of or videos of my face. I would just rant into a camera because I have thoughts about a lot of things. And if you're here, you probably have a bunch of thoughts about a lot of things too. Record a 2 to 3 minute clip of you talking about some certain thing that you're into or your opinion on something. Pop culture is an easy thing to comment on, so give your take on the whole beef between Drake and what's his name, Kendrick, and you record 3 minutes. And then learn how to edit it in CapCut. Just cut out the silences, places where you run on or you drone, or where you use a bunch of filler words, cut that out, and boom, now you have a video. That's it. And then just keep doing that. And then do like 100 of those. And then as you do more and more of it, you'll be like, all right, how do I make this better? How do I make this better? Then you start comparing it and see then you start noticing how other people edit their videos. Because you don't really notice it as a consumer of content until you become a creator yourself. And then you start studying, because you start seeing like, oh, here's the place, why did they make the cut there? Oh, I noticed all these jump cuts and they're not matching the eye line. And you can see why it feels so jarring. Or you can notice how good it is and be like, oh, I do this all the time when I'm watching YouTube videos. I'll rewind and be like, wait, how did they make that transition there? Oh, they matched the eye line from shot to shot. It seems like it's a detail that people would easily miss, but I notice it. And so, like, I see those things. But in the end, you just got to start. So as far as like what to post, anything that gets you to create a video. And I know that's not helpful because you're like, all right, but what about this? What about that? Forget the indecision stuff. I've been there, bro. The analysis paralysis where you're thinking about like, what do I post? And maybe this, maybe that, maybe this, maybe that. And I still struggle with this stuff today because I know I should be making long form video. I have a bunch of scripts prepared that I haven't shot yet because I got to put the shot list together, which I haven't been doing because I'm like, oh, maybe I want to make this video. Maybe I want to make that video. And then even I talk about it on these YouTube. Like, even earlier, I opened with a video idea, turning $20 Yeezys into $200 Yeezys and talking about alchemy and all that stuff and how to create magic in the mind, packaging, all that stuff. Like, I started the script on it, but I should just go record it. I have a video, man. I know what it's like, dude. I'm just saying, like, I still struggle with this stuff. So that's my opinion on it. I didn't need to go on a rant, but whatever. It's all good. My highest viewed video is something about a journey, 61 views. Okay. If I talk about Drake, I will talk about his meat immediately. All right. Why'd you look it up though? I post videos on games I have fun with. Yeah, that's a great way to start. Eventually you'll realize like there's certain things people seem to crave, especially considering how these platforms work. I'm not trying to discourage you from making content. But because of the algorithm and the way the metrics need to be, because you need to get above 70% retention by the end of the video, you need a certain like to dislike ratio, unless you're Drake, of course, in which case you can have 66% dislike ratio and still get hella views on your videos. And you start realizing the game is kind of rigged, and that's why a lot of the advice by the biggest players is just like, all right, whatever. But yeah, you just start that way. And even then, like, take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt, because like I wouldn't consider myself successful at YouTube. I'd consider myself kind of successful on TikTok, but even then, like, algorithm changes all the time, and weird stuff like videos from a year or two ago will start doing numbers, so I can't even give you any consistency on that. I just know if you get above 25% retention by the end of a TikTok video, your video is probably going to do numbers. That's a hard thing to do, but yeah. And then Instagram, I've noticed the only way I've been able to go viral, at least, yeah, at least without relying on the algorithm, is when people share it in their stories. So when you make a piece of content that people want to share, then you don't have to rely on the algorithm. People will do the work for you. But you can also rely on the algorithm too, which I've had a couple videos like that too. Listen, all right, I heard about it, then I looked it up and it was dumbfounded. Why'd you look it up? You needed to look at that. No, it's definitely cut. It definitely has to be cut, right? I don't even know. I don't care to look it up. It says more about you, bro. I don't know. I'm just saying. Thanks for the advice. I'm gonna try making videos. If one day I become famous, it's because of you. Yeah, dude. Please. I mean, yeah, okay. If you have interesting perspective on something and you want to come on the podcast, like, let me know. DM me on Instagram. And if there's something you want to talk about, let me know. And that could be your first piece of content too. I needed to see why. all I gotta say, 16 inches. I doubt that. Why are you talking about another man's junk? Like, that's wild, bro. That's wild. I mean, I'm not judging, man. I'm not judging. You know, everyone, you're free to be into whatever you want. I'm not looking it up. No, I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, man. We all know how Drake likes to use AI, though. So I don't know if you can even trust it, my guy. He probably put it into a Dolly thing or like, what do they call it? Microsoft Copilot. Hey, add 16 inches. That's easy, bro. How you gonna make a song with dead rappers on your? Well, I guess Snoop Dogg isn't dead, but Tupac definitely is. Like, it's like Elephant Struck My Guy. No, I doubt it. This guy over here, just falling for AI generated images by a known deceiver. All right, whatever. I hope you enjoyed it, though. I hope you enjoyed it. Tupac or Biggie? Neither. I don't really know much. I don't listen to either one of them. I don't know either one of them too well. Although I did stumble on this TikTok guy who was explaining like industry plants and how they're made, and how Drake was the last incarnation of a bunch of failed industry plants. Finally, they found their success in Drake. The first one was Vanilla Ice. The second one was Eminem. But Eminem didn't really fall into that box so well, so he wasn't something that could be easily controlled. They're also attempting it with Jack Harlow. Drake was the successful one because they realized, you know what? We're trying to make something that's commercial ready that we can easily sell to mainstream audiences and big box retailers. But the whole completely white guy thing doesn't necessarily work. So what if we get someone who it's kind of, they found a Canadian. Oh, and then actors. It's like, why did they choose an actor to be the face of this stuff? Because they can play the role really well. And then if you look at the history of Tupac, and he went to a school of arts, and what did he study? And you're like, okay, the pieces are starting to connect, you know? That's what I'm thinking. So I think it was a legit take, not gonna lie. Oh, well, my favorite band is Manskin. I gotta go to bed. See you later. Good night, man. Jojo Siwa turned into something not well. I don't know what that is. I'll catch you next time, Brandon. I don't know. I'll try to be more consistent. Maybe if I took this as seriously as some of these streamers did, and I was just like, "Hey guys," like Jinxie or whatever, and it's like, "Hey guys, oh my god, can you believe it?" Ha 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 ha. Or I could do the Kaisenat thing where I just get super elated and excited about dumb stuff. Could I do that? Guys. Or I can find like an Asian or a Korean counterpart who then I can make a bunch of jokes with, you know? And I just need my own Ray, you know? Like, that's all I need. Wait, you don't know who JoJo... I don't know who that is. Let me see. JoJo Siwa. No, why would I know this? Why would I know this? JoJo Siwa 2000 is an American singer, dancer, actress, and a media personality. She appeared as a dancer on 2 seasons of the reality show Dance Moms alongside her mother, Jocelyn Siwa, in 2017. Signed to Nickelodeon and acted in various shows and TV films. No, why would I know this? Just hop on every other day. Or something. I don't know. See you, man. I don't know. I guess I could try. Like, what time should I do? I don't even know. I have 24 hours to choose from. Like, I'm thinking a nighttime stream might be cool just before you go to bed so you can dream about me. Nah, I'm a night person. I'm a night owl, so I think that might be better if I do live streams consistently. Twin, where have you been? Oh, so you come to my live stream when you need help. Wow. You guys, man. I sent you an email. God. This doesn't help you. What time zone? Soul Market. 9. So that would be 9 p.m. my time. I was making sure you were alive. Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. Like, I don't know. Guys, I sent you an email. Did you check your email? Like, what the hell? I didn't check my email. Let me see. Did you reply to the email? I didn't. Whatever. We don't have to handle it here. You can leave now. I don't know, Western or Central? I'm Central. Oh, it's 1 a.m., so you're East Coast? Okay, so maybe I'll do like, if I do 8 p.m. Central Time, that'll be 6 p.m. West Coast, and that'll be 9 p.m. East Coast. I think that'll be better. I know I came on late tonight. I was kind of tired anyway, so I was definitely dragging my feet, but maybe I'll do that. Maybe 8 p.m. I don't want to commit to a certain every day. I don't want to commit. Oh, it's 10:03 for me. Yeah, it's you're on the West Coast. Okay. So it'd be like 6 p.m. your time, dude. Which is kind of early for a stream, but maybe 8 or 9 p.m. I don't know. I guess you'll find me, I guess, if... Do I dare do 8? Yeah, 8 sounds better, because sometimes these things go way longer than I expect. You're in Ohio? How are you in Ohio and it's 1? What time zone? Ohio is... Time in Ohio. I guess so. It is East Coast. Dang. Why am I thinking Ohio's like Midwest? It is, but it's like, is it like right? What? Oh, no. It's not mid. Does it count? Does Ohio count as Midwest? I was thinking like it's right next to Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I'm subbed. I got a notification. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, so when I go live, I guess you'll see it. Maybe I'll try to like prepare the live so you'll have some warning, like an hour warning or something. But yeah, and then let me know if there's anything I can do to make this more interesting. It's just me talking into a camera and reading your comments. So, but I mean, that's the whole idea behind Table Moments. It's just a conversation between us, and whatever happens, happens. So, and then I got these guys on TikTok watching too. So, I'm not sure if I can incorporate those. I can't commit to doing every day on TikTok. It would be interesting for like the next month, just doing live streams every day. That'd be a grind, but we could try. I'll get some people with you. I mean, if they care to join, that's cool. But like, I'm selective about people who come here. That's the thing. Like, bring me with you. It'd be funny, honestly. Well, maybe one day for sure. If you want to come on the podcast, that'd also be hilarious. How old are you though? How old are you? I would imagine you're like in high school or something. Which I don't know. I don't care to put you permanently on the internet if you're younger than 18, because you don't need that in your life. 16, yeah. All right. So, couple years, bro. Couple years. You're welcome to be here. There's other people on Twitch who are about your age who every now and then when they get a chance and I'm on live at the right time, they end up being able to join too. So I would guess you're also a white kid too, because that seems to be the demographic. If they're younger than 18, then it's usually white guys, and if they're older, it's usually black people. It's weird. It's very weird. It's a diverse audience, is what I'd say, is what the Table Moments audience is. You're a brokeback Mexican. That's funny, dude. That's funny. No wonder you were looking up that Drake photo. I never seen the movie Brokeback either. I don't even know what that. I think I know what that means, but I don't know. I've never seen the movie. I don't need to see Jake Gyllenhaal with the Joker, okay? I know the actors. I've never seen the movie. That's how you know people talked about it too much, because people who never watched it know so much about it. But, all right, guys. I think I'm going to call it quits. I appreciate everyone here. Are you in the U.S.? Yeah, I'm in Texas, man. I'm in Texas, Central Time. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to call it quits. Wow. Oh man, it's really hitting me. It usually takes me like an hour to wind down from one of these things because I got these bright lights in my face. But I'm in the U.S. of California. Yeah, I used to live in California. Don't dox yourself though. All right, everyone, go to bed. Go to bed. Good night, everybody. Good night, Brandon. Good night, Soul Market 12. Good night, Emery Eds, Braylon, Sports on Top, and Carl. Good night, everyone. Try not to get too hung up on the drama of the world. Everything's trying to drag you down. You don't have to participate. So try to avoid it. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time on the Table Moments Live. Bye. Bye. Oh, you know what? Screw you. Okay. GG's, she says. GG's. Yes, such an ass. Whatever. Good night, everyone. And reply to my email. Answer my questions. Your zip code has... Well, I guess you can have... I know a lot about zip codes because I've been creating these like USPS intelligent mail barcodes for these wallets I sell. I sell them. I put them in envelopes. Like, this is a fake address. Don't worry, Steve Jobs. But whatever. Like, I learned a lot about the USPS zip code system and why it's called the zip code and everything. It's crazy the amount of research you'll have to do when you're working on something interesting. I know, it's nowhere close. I know. Usually California zip codes start with a 9. But all right, everyone, good night, good night, good night. Bye, bye, bye. Let's end on TikTok first. And that. And then we'll end here. Good night, everyone. Bye, bye.